Renovating Retirement with Charlie Jewett. Oh no, I think I'm about to have another episode.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today is my daughter's 14th birthday, and she's a teenager, so she's still asleep, and before she wakes up, I'm going to sneak on a podcast because after this, we're doing some fun stuff, and I will not be available. So today's podcast is called Renovating Retirement Episode 93, 4 Google Searches You Must Do, Part 2. What? There's more than one part? There is. There's 4 parts. So, last time I covered the first important Google search, but the 4 of them are, do money managers beat the market? You need to type that into a Google search engine and read the results. It'll change your life when you find out that money managers do not beat the market. When you hire someone to grow your money, you're paying them to make less than if you did not use them. You'd be better just buying the S&P 500 index. Now, you can beat the S&P 500 index easily with safer strategies or tax-free growth, but if you're going to force yourself, if you're going to limit yourself, punish yourself for no reason, and only use securities and listen to the liars and the cheats, you might as well not pay somebody to underperform. Go to Google search, convince yourself. Don't listen to me. Go to Google, read the articles. Money managers do not consistently beat the market. You have a very low chance of picking somebody that's going to do better by trying to time the market or use active management or asset allocation or portfolio management or all this barf that's designed to distract you from the fact that they suck at their jobs and they don't do what they say they do. The second search is safe withdrawal rates, which we'll cover today. Sequence of returns would be the third. So the next podcast on that. And then the fourth one would be stocks and bonds correlation. All of these are things that Joker brokers lie about. I started this series because I lost 3 dear potential clients, people that I had come to know and love, and was just about to rescue from the clutches of the liars and the cheats and the Joker brokers. And then they used these lies to steal them back and hurt them. So we're going to cover safe withdrawal rates today. Now, what is a safe withdrawal rate? People, if you say no to what I'm teaching in this podcast, which is taking your income, your retirement income from guaranteed sources, buying a paycheck, having guaranteed retirement insurance, transferring the risk of running out of money to someone else, replacing a paycheck with a paycheck instead of with risk with a side of fees. If you don't do what I'm suggesting, if you don't do what's best for you, what's proven to be better than everything else, where you have to go to is taking an income stream from a portfolio. You're saying no to safe strategies and safe tools. You have to choose the unsafe, risky tools. Now, I'm not talking about rental real estate, which I would, by the way, put into the risky category. And I'd put into the non-guaranteed category. I own 15 homes. I can promise you rents are not guaranteed. I can promise you things can happen in the real estate world that cost you money, and there can be headaches. I'm talking about investments, the different places you could park money and try to live off of it during retirement. If you say no to annuities, cash value life insurance, safer strategies, structured settlements, and things like that, you're going into the world of Joker brokers. You're going into risk with a side of fees, asset allocation, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, barf, barf, barf. And you have to say, how much can I take as income? If you have $1 million portfolio and you quit working and it's time to live off of it for the rest of your life, you don't know what inflation is going to be. You don't know what taxes are going to be. You don't know how long you're going to live. You don't know what's going to happen with Social Security COLAs or if they're going to drop Social Security by 30%. You don't know when you're going to die, when your spouse is going to die. You don't know what your health is going to be or what the health costs are going to be. You don't know anything except that you have $1 million. And you have to figure out what is safe to take out of this thing. There's a man named William Bengen who won a Nobel Prize for doing this research, and he still gives this kind of advice, and he said maybe around 4%. So if you have $1 million in an IRA, you can take $40,000 a year out and then pay taxes on it and net $28,000 or $32,000 or whatever it is, and that's what you can have, and you might make it until death before you run out of money. Yippity skippity doo-dah! Isn't that exciting? $40,000 of taxable income which also causes your Social Security to be taxed for most of you. And that's if you're a millionaire. But there's a problem. This research was done before 2001, the crash, the dot-com bubble, and before 2008 and 9, the second depression or the mortgage meltdown. It was done before what we call the lost decade, this 10-year period where nobody made any money in the market. It just kept going up and then down and then up and then down and then up and then down. Those new downs, the new data applied to William Bengen's research means you can't take 4% out of a portfolio safely anymore. It was a stupid idea in the first place to say, you know what, you should leave everything in securities and just gamble with your retirement and live off of 4% because you might be okay. That's stupid. That's terrible financial planning. Why don't you just buy the income you need the way you buy a car? It's not about investing. Purchase a paycheck, for heaven's sakes. You want $5,000 a month of income that comes in like a money tree. You spend the $5,000. You run over to your tree. You go, can I have some more, please? Boom, $5,000 in your bank account the first of every month. You spend it, Neiman Marcus. You spend it at Sears. Are they still around? I don't even know. You go spend it at Disneyland. It's all gone by the end of the month. You go back to your tree. Can I have another $5,000, please? Boom. Yes, you can, because the tree is gracious. The tree is awesome. The tree is perfect. The track record of the tree making its annuity payments to you is impeccable. Never misses a payment. Where the track record of the stock market is it treats you well, treats you well, treats you well, and then spanks you and takes the money away from you, takes you on an emotional roller coaster that you should not be a part of in retirement. Don't gamble with your income. Purchase a paycheck. But if you must, if you're a stock market crackhead, if you're addicted to the ups and downs and you can't wait to open that monthly statement and feel that thrill of fear or greed, seeing what happened with your money while your joker broker pillages and rapes your portfolio, while charging you fees, if you have to have it, the new data, if you go do this Google search, safe withdrawal rates, says you can take about 2.8 to 2.9% out of an account as your income stream. Now, these accounts come with no side benefits, no tax advantages, no extra money for long-term care, no death benefit that increases, nothing. They come with nothing except risk and fees. And for all that, risk and fees, what you get is 2.8 to 2.9% of your account as income so that you can try to run out of money after you die. So if you're a millionaire, $1 million, and you put it where they told you to put it, in IRAs and 401ks, and you listen to the second pillar of financial deception, which says postpone your taxes to a later date when you'll be in a lower tax bracket when almost everybody knows you won't. If you listen to that and you put $1 million in a pre-tax portfolio, so now you can take out $28,000 to $29,000 a year before taxes if you're a millionaire, and there are still human beings on the planet that want to argue with me that annuities aren't the way to go to take income. Non-guaranteed income with no benefits at all at 2.8 to 2.9%, where you have to balance the emotions that it may not be going well, or guaranteed lifetime income that can never be taken from you and sometimes increases at 4.5 to 6.5%, and then double income if you go into long-term care. And there are still people in the country that write articles and want to argue with me. Are you kidding me? Why don't these cowards accept my coward challenge? Why don't you be a man? Why don't you be a woman or a real human being or a unisex now that there's 3 genders? Why don't you stand up and be a real human being and meet me on my show? Why don't we meet on Ellen? Why don't we meet on television, and I will give you 55 minutes of the hour to share your horrible crap plan. And then afterwards, I'll take 3, 4, 5 minutes before a commercial break and make you look like a buffoon because I know what you're going to say before I show up. You're going to look past. Oh, go back in the past, and the market made a lot of money in the past. If you go to the past, if you look back to the past, if we go to the past before the bad things happened, before today's weather environment, if we look at weather from 1955, it was good for golfing and everything. If we go back in the past, you're going to barf for 55 minutes while I watch you and I bite my fingernails and watch Google videos because it's so stupid what you're saying. And then I'm going to stand up and go, okay, but how long is the income guaranteed? And you'll go, I don't know, depends on market performance. I go, oh, okay. And then when one person dies, how much money is left for the other person? How much is going to be in their account if the spouse dies in 15 years? And you're going to go, I don't know, it depends on market performance. Well, market performance when? In the future. Wait, I thought the past was the answer to everything. No, the past is just the answer to how I lie to people. How I make it look like it's going to be good, because today's weather kind of sucks. We haven't been making money for 17 years, but the past. Your plan sucks. Your plan, joker broker. If somebody has you in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and tells you you can take an income stream of 4 to 6%, I have the emails, people. I have the emails from these pathetic human beings who hand people lies to keep making money off of them. I have an email where the guy tells my potential client, who I lost, by the way, you can take a 4 to 6% income stream off of a variable annuity. I checked, and the fees are 3.15%. The client was on the phone with me when I found that out. Because of relationship, because this potential client doesn't realize the age of the financial planner is over. Nobody needs a financial planner. Come on, stop with that crap. You need clarity. You need to see clearly and stop being lied to. Nobody needs to tell you what to do. If one thing pays a guaranteed income of $5,000 a month and another one pays $3,000 a month, which one do you want? You don't need an advisor. You need clarity. If you could not pay taxes or pay taxes, which one would you want? If you could never lose money again for the rest of your life, or lose money from time to time, and they average the same returns, which one would you want? Come on. You don't need a financial planner. Come on with that. Fire your stupid joker broker right now. Take every single dollar that you have with some Here's what you do. Call up your so-called advisor who you're with because they make you feel good, basically, by the way. They wear a suit, they have a nice office, they give you warm nuts, water bottles with your name on it, they keep track of your birthdays, they take you golfing. You have a very, very expensive paid friendship. I would like to call it something else more shocking, when you pay a professional to make you feel good, but I'm not going to. You pay someone to make you feel good. Call that person up. I don't care what you call them. Call them up. Say, do you beat the S&P 500? Is your performance better than the S&P 500 from the day I started with you? And ask them to just go back and pretend you put the money in the S&P 500 index, and then show you what you would have made there and what you made with them. Now, if you've only been with them 1, 2, 3, 4 years, it's going to be pretty hard to compare, even back to 2008, because the market's only been shooting straight up ever since the meltdown. Make them prove that they're worth what you're paying them. Maybe don't even say that. Just say, hey, if I have $1 million when I retire, how much income should I take off of it safely? They say anything over 2.8, 2.9%, fire them on the spot. If they're not beating the S&P 500, fire them on the spot. Ask them about annuities. If they talk bad about annuities, fire them on the spot. Annuities are a tool. Anyone that talks bad about a tool needs to be fired. They're a dangerous human being who's motivated to steer you where they want you to get paid. Maybe they're stupid. Maybe they're evil. I don't care if it's ignorance or immorality. The results to you and your portfolio and your family and every generation after you, the results will be the same whether your advisor is stupid or evil. You fire them. You move all of your money into a credit union, savings account, IRA, or whatever it is. You call the bank first and say, can I move all this money over there? And is there any fees? Can I leave it for a month or two if I want to, or can I leave it forever? Just make sure no fees. Move it. Park it somewhere before the market goes down, for heaven's sakes. People, the market has been going up for like 98, 99 months or something ridiculous like that. And the average bull market is 49 months, I think. 48 months or whatever it is. So we're double the time the market usually goes up. The average crash in a bear market is 27%. Get your money out before you lose the 27%. You don't have to have heard all my shows and know what you're going to do with the money. To protect it now. Fire your joker broker. I'm going to say it until I'm dead. If you found out your babysitter was raping your children, how many more times would you hire them while you searched for a new babysitter? Come on. None! When you find out someone is hurting you, you fire them on the spot without knowing what you're going to do. If you don't have a babysitter, don't go on dates. If you don't have somebody that can grow your money, don't grow your money. Take a break. Fire the babysitter who's a pedophile. Fire your joker broker who's been raping your portfolio. Take a break. Watch my videos at watchcharlie.com. Go to jewetwealth.com, Jewett wealth.com, and look at all the materials there and read all my articles and watch all the videos. Go listen to all 93 podcasts at renovatingretirement.com. Take a break. What's happening to you is wrong. Safe withdrawal rates are so important because you should not be taking an income off of a portfolio of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. By the way, do you want to hear a little secret just to sort of make this click in your head? The reason we have these things called required minimum distributions, okay, required minimum distributions. I'm actually going to go type that into Google. Let's go to Google. Required minimum distributions, and I'm going to put as a percentage. All right, what are required minimum distributions? If you listen to the liars, the ignorant or the immoral, and you believed postpone taxes to a later date when you'll be in a lower tax bracket, even though you have no mortgage payment, no children at home, and no contributions to retirement plans, so it's almost impossible to be in a lower tax bracket unless you eat dog food and live off of $10,000 a year. If you listen to those people, those terrible advisors or the liars, and you postpone taxes to a later date, when you turn 70 and a half, I don't care how young you are, you need to know this, when you turn 70 and a half, you have to start taking the money out of those accounts. Now, why? Just stop for a second. Why? Why do you think the IRS requires you to take money out of taxable accounts when you start getting older? Very simple. If you do your estate planning properly, you can avoid taxes on the transfer of wealth to the next generation or to loved ones or to charities. So what do they want you to do before you die in case you did a great job with estate planning? Get it out and pay taxes. The entire idea of the qualified plan was to postpone your taxes to a later date for the IRS to earn more money and to have a gigantic annuity for themselves where you have to pay them taxes. Required minimum distributions is the IRS saying, listen, people are getting closer to life expectancy. We better make them pass our taxes before they die because they might have a good estate planner who's going to avoid it. So at 70 and a half, you have to start taking money out. Well, what's the percentage you have to take out? Is it higher than 2.89? Is it 4? Is it 6? What are they charging you? Well, surprise, surprise, the IRS makes it hard to understand. They don't do it as a percentage. They have this ridiculous cockamamie divisor method of dividing by 27 and a half, blah, blah, barf, barf, barf. More deception, more smoke and mirrors, more hide from people and make it hard to understand so the joker brokers and the IRS can pillage you and rip you off for the rest of your life. Do a search, and I did a search and I'm having trouble finding it myself because nobody wants you to see this. Do a search for required minimum distributions expressed as a percentage, which I found once, and now I'm going to see if I can find it again. So let's take a look at bankrate.com. By the way, I don't work for any of these companies. They get free advertising if I say their name online or whatever. Does this work? No, this one's an example of how they make it complicated. Required minimum distributions for IRAs. 70, distribution period in years, 27.4. So you have to divide your account by 27.4 and come up with how much money you're going to take out. Why don't they just give you a percentage? It's easily calculatable. They just give it to you. I'm trying to find the table that I found for you. Let's see. Can I find it? That one works. Okay. So I went to themoneyalert.com/RMD-tables. themoneyalert.com/RMD-tables is where I found it. Now listen close. Listen very close. The first percentage. So this guy has it listed as distribution period 27.5 when you're age 70, and then percent. The first percent is 3.65. And then it goes up to 3.77. And then it goes up to 3.91. And then it goes up to 4.0. The older you get, the more of a percentage you have to take out of your accounts. And then the other search I told you to do, which is safe withdrawal percentages, proves that you can only take out 2.8 to 2.9% if you want to not run out of money before you die. Okay, let me restate that. If you don't want to run out of money before you die, the experts, the research says 2.8%. The IRS comes along and says if it's inside of IRAs, 401ks, or anything that's yet to be taxed, we want you to start 3.65% and increase it every year. Let me just tell you what we've discovered. And I'm sorry if in an audio format this is hard to follow. We've basically just discovered the IRS is forcing you to take a percentage out of your qualified money that will basically guarantee that you run out of money before you die so that they get paid all taxes they're due. Now, can we just be intelligent here for a second? Can we just be super basic and ignore the incredibly advanced, manipulative, allowable malpractice that the joker brokers and brokerage firms have come up with? Can we just be really, really basic? The IRS knows math. They know what they're doing. They know how to get tax revenue. They know life expectancies. If they're going to require you to take so much money out of your accounts that we run them out until you before you die, would leaving qualified money in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and taking an income stream off of it or paying RMDs off of it be an intelligent thing to do? You're virtually guaranteeing that you run out of money before you die. Or let's restate that. You're gambling and saying, I think my broker can beat the reality that brokers don't beat the market. I think my broker is so good that he's going to make me a real 5, 6, or 7% every year with no losses for the rest of my life with his gambling strategies, so I don't need to pay attention to the overwhelming evidence. Bottom line is, you should not be taking an income stream. You should not be trying to live off of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, or anything that can go below zero. Period. Anybody in the country, meet me online. Be a real human being. Stand up for what you teach. And meet me, and let's talk about it. Annuities pay such a high rate of return, such a high income stream, I should say, guaranteed for as long as you live, that RMDs are easily met, and yes, your account might run out of money, but you will never run out of income. I am not saying that stocks, bonds, and mutual funds don't have their place in someone's financial plan. They do have a place. When you've already set up your emergency funds and you've guaranteed your money tree, your retirement income that lets you live the lifestyle of your dreams, when you've purchased that, and you look and you have money left over, then you can say, how do we want to grow this into the future? These are your increase accounts for our own enjoyment, paying for medical expenses, and leaving an inheritance. You shouldn't even be thinking about inheritance until you've taken care of your own income stream. So I didn't even do this yet. The show is about safe withdrawal rate, but I didn't even do this yet. Let's go do our Google search for safe withdrawal rate or safe withdrawal percentage. Boom, boom. Put it into Google. What do we see? Safe withdrawal rate for early retirees from the Mad Fientist. Is that a word? Mad Fientist? I don't know what that means. Safe withdrawal rates? Boggleheads. The 4% rule. What's a safe withdrawal rate in retirement from money? Safe withdrawal rate method definition. Investopedia. Cool. 6 withdrawal rate rules to make your savings last. By the way, listen to how complicated you have to make your life if you don't use safe strategies. So you're going to try to beat all this research and be one of the very few that it works for. 6 withdrawal rate rules to make your savings last? I'll give you 1. Don't gamble. All right, I should put up a website. 1 withdrawal rule to make your savings last. Don't be stupid. That could be the 1 rule. Don't gamble with your retirement income. That could be another rule. What if I did it this way? Don't tie income to how long your savings last. I mean, with an annuity, you can run out of savings and still have income. Why do we need 6 rules? Like, this is like 6 rules for how to go to Las Vegas and possibly come home with money. Just don't go. Don't gamble. Ridiculous. What's a safe withdrawal rate in my retirement years? The ultimate guide to safe withdrawal rates. That would be a short book from me as well. I'd say they aren't safe. Buy an annuity, fool. Software solutions to calculate your safe withdrawal rate. Ooh. How do you have a software solution to calculate safe withdrawal rates when you don't know what the performance is going to be in the future? And by the way, those guys that go past, it's the past. Yeah, in the past, the baby boomers, the biggest generation of working people, were saving money buying the stock market. When you buy things, the price goes up. Those people are now selling the stock market, not buying because they're not working anymore. A lot of them retiring at $10,000 a day, so they're not putting money into 401ks and IRAs. They're taking money out for income, and they're moving giant chunks of money to annuities, the ones that are smart. You think the market's going to continue going up at the lying 7 to 9%, that baloney average math they use? You think it's even going to do the same thing for the next 30 years as it did when the entire weather has changed? The people that were buying are now selling? Who would teach that unless they were incredibly ignorant or incredibly immoral? You don't know the future, so don't play the game. Buy yourself a paycheck, and listen, if you have a $10,000 a month paycheck coming in, and you still have $1 million left over, buy the market. Knock yourself out. Gamble with how the market goes up and down. You don't have to take any money out of it. There's no withdrawal percentages. Let me see, by the way. Yeah, we're going to do sequence of returns next, because the sequence of returns is what can really mess up your safe withdrawal percentages. Anyway, probably enough of a rant today. I was going to do a 5 or 10 minute podcast here before I go give my daughter these 2 sets of flowers that I got her and her cinnamon roll and take her to an amusement park. Anyway, do these Google searches. Safe withdrawal rate or safe withdrawal percentage. Also, go look at the percentages that you are required to take out from the qualified monies that you have. By the way, this makes it so important for you to get rid of the IRS, divorce the IRS. A huge part of what I teach. The Power of 0% by David McKnight, how to be in a 0% tax bracket, Roth IRAs, cash value life insurance built the right way with nobody in the country is doing except for me and one guy that I trained. Yes, I will put that to the test. Insurance agent wants to challenge me, let's do it. Try to beat my life insurance illustrations. Anybody. Cash value life insurance, Roth IRAs, mortgage planning techniques to add depreciation. Sell the house you're in, buy another one with a huge mortgage, pay for it with IRA money or 401k money. You're getting all the money out of your qualified plans with no taxes. People, this stuff is important. Get in touch with me, Charlie@JewettWealth.com, CHARLIE at JewettWealth.com, JEWETT Wealth.com, Charlie@JewettWealth.com. Anyway, do these Google searches, and you're going to find out it's not safe to take an income from a portfolio, or at least you have to significantly punish yourself, lower your lifestyle, and then the IRS is going to come along when you're 70 and a half, require you to jack up the rate that you're taking out, and basically guarantee that you're going to run out of money before you die, unless you get hit by a train and die too early, at which point we could mourn your death, but celebrate your retirement planning decisions because they worked out. Not. Anyway, talk to you next time. You people are the best.
Renovating retirement with Charlie Jewett.
That's all, folks.
As I listened to this podcast back and the one from last time, I heard some clicking, some pops, and some audio pieces that were missing. So I'm firing my microphone. Stupid microphone. I have 2 headsets. They both seem to be not the quality that I want, so I'm heading to the store, so expect better quality in the future. See how much I love you? Aw, so sweet.